Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Ohio Guys here. I'm Christian Ocampo and bringing you guys the first interview of 2022 of the time recording. And to get us in the starting page of the year, we have good old Brook Chalmers.
Hello,
Greetings.
hello.
Hi, sir. Good to finally meet you and to finally have you here on the Ohio Guys channel. Very excited to finally make this happen after a couple of years or so having fun interactions with you on social media. I'm very excited to have finally bring you along on the boat.
Nice. It's a good boat to be
Yeah.
on.
Thank you, and I hope you have a fun ride here.
Oh yeah.
So, so to kind of get us started with you, trying to get in the mind of Brook Chalmers here. Why don't you tell us what is it like working in the industry today?
I mean, obviously, COVID is a game changer. You know, we pretty much still work from home now, and now even more so. Yeah, so it's interesting. On the one hand, I miss going to the studio immensely. There's just something about that energy that you get being in the studio, and the director's there on the other side of the glass. But now I'm working completely from home, so I see my kids more. So I mean that's something. But I mean I do miss it. I mean it's kind of it's very lonely just being in the booth and just hearing the voices, through the thing and not actually getting to interact with anybody. But now we've been doing it so long, it kind of just feels like, well, this is the way things are now, and will we ever go back to normal, or is this the new normal? No one knows. But anime and animation and records keep chugging along. So, I'll knock on wood.
Yeah, these past few years with COVID, how it's risen, it's really changed the industry in terms of recording, in terms of casting, because everyone now can record from home as long as they have the technology, the equipment on hand to keep the work going, keeping the work going from your guys' homes. So definitely with all the other actors I've recorded these past couple of years, I keep getting different stories, hearing their perspectives, how COVID has influenced the industry of voiceover. So, and you're right, we're not how long this is keep going, how long this is gonna stick around. But in terms of recording at home, it does give more opportunities for actors to audition, to send out their voice reels to clients. They can start having the mishmash of actors and titles before COVID we would not have had beforehand. So as always, I've always said actors like it's almost like a blessing in disguise because it has.
I agree. Yeah, it's widened the talent pool, because before it was just like you got to live here or here, and now, as long as your setup's good, you can live kind of anywhere, and still get work. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, it has been cool. Always good to see names sprinkle around that, again, usually you would not see in the traditional fashion, but it always adds a different type of flavor, different recipe, where you do kind of intermingle actors from across the country and in some cases around the world. So you have more of a wide access of.
Oh, yeah, and that's a win-win for everybody. So I guess thanks COVID and damn you COVID. So the double-edged sword.
Oh yes, exactly. That's what we have right here.
Yeah.
So upon your time in the industry pre-COVID and during COVID, why don't you tell us what is your favorite project you have worked on?
Oh boy. I mean, it's funny. Yeah, I've only been, in the anime world for a couple of years now. But it's a good question. I have to say Orokodaki on Demon Slayer is probably my favorite. I don't know. There's just something about him. I wouldn't say that not that I resonate, but I mean, he's kind of a father figure, and I'm a dad. I mean, I don't put my kids through horrific tests, to send them off to die. But I think what was cool with him was I got to do two different sides of him, because I got to play him in the show, and then we did the video game, and I got to play him in the video game, and he was a playable character. So I actually got to do a bunch of audio of him fighting, which was cool because you don't see that at all in the series. So it was fun seeing two different sides and getting to do two different sides to him, which you don't usually get, like a second kind of bite at the apple with a lot of characters. And so, I think he's, near and dear to my heart. And if I actually tilt my camera up, you can see I have his mask back there on my, there it is. He watches me all the time.
That's very neat, and that's awesome. I'm no surprised you actually have the mask. That's awesome to just have as a collection edition.
Oh yeah, I wore it at Halloween to hand out candy to kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was fun.
So, yeah, we'll jump right into Demon Slayer in just a little bit.
Yeah.
To kind of, I guess, in a way, play as a timeline with your questions. I guess some of your earlier works around pre-COVID. You worked on this the little anime show called Ascendance of a Bookworm. While I was working on that title.
Oh yeah, Ascendance of a Bookworm was cool. So that was like, I worked on it before COVID, and then when COVID hit, I had switched to home records. That one was interesting because when I came onto it, I was playing this character. Oh man, I don't even remember his name anymore. He was like the head of
High Priest.
The High Priest was the second one. There was another one. He was like the head of the guild, the Merchants Guild, and I thought it was like maybe two episodes. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is cool. I get to play this guy. Gustav, that's his name. And I'm like, oh, I get to play him for a couple of episodes. That's fun. And then afterwards, they're like, oh, and we also want you to do this High Priest character, not realizing that he was like sort of the one of the baddies of like a pretty good story arc. And he was fun, just because he was just not a good guy. And I tend to get like, villains or old mentors. This voice isn't very protagonist friendly. You'll never hear me as the young plucky swordsman. But the High Priest was cool, and what was fun with him was he was so like outlandish. Like he would do like these weird like poses when he talked and stuff. And I remember in the booth I would do these poses, just mimicking what I saw. That was fun. And Julie, the director, I love her to death, and she was just so awesome to work with anytime. So
yeah, this is one of my shows that I watch, especially because you're of the main character girl, played by the incredible Reva Burr. Got to interview her a while back. Talk about this show, how cute her character is with her smile, and just making all this stuff from her old world that she got isekai in. So it's always cool just seeing that type of storytelling, bringing I guess our modern story into this old world system, and then just seeing the progression from that. So I always enjoy isekais. I know they can either get redundant or overrated, but it's always cool to see like different characters, different genders, or different ages, how they about new life in their new isekai world.
Yeah, no, and it's cool. And there's so many of them. I think you kind of have to pick and choose. If you watch them all, you're like, okay, all right, okay, here's another, but they've got something for everybody.
And they always have their own appreciation. There's always something you pull from them that still makes them different from the other genre shows.
Yeah, no, agree.
So yeah, good show. Hope everyone can check it out. Still on Crunchyroll with English dub. Free plug to Crunchyroll, and for any fans of the English dub, it's right there for viewing streaming services.
High Priest.
So moving on from Crunchyroll, and now we can talk about like a Netflix original. This one is Carole and Tuesday, one of my favorites. Well, it's like working on that show.
So Carole and Tuesday was interesting because that was my first named part that I ever got, and that was Dahlia, who is Angela's parent. And which was funny because that started this joke between Ryan Bartley and I that I'm her anime parent. So there's been a few different times where our characters have interacted in a weird way. Carole and Tuesday was great, and it was a challenge. I mean, Dahlia was a hell of a character. I remember my last record as Dahlia was really heavy. I mean, if you've seen the series, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you've seen the series, there's this scene between her and Angela, and it gets like heated. And like, that was one of those scenes where you kind of just put it all out there. And, I remember afterwards I had to tell the director, I'm like, can I just take 5? I got to reset, I mean, and yeah, it's like, you just get so into it. And I think that's, I mean, that may have been maybe my most intense scene I think that I've done. And it was, to this day, I have not watched it. I don't think I can, because I don't know if I can separate myself from the feelings I had in the booth. I don't know if I could watch it as a passive observer. So yeah, it's kind of strange because part of me is like, no, watch it. And the other part's like, don't do that to yourself. Yeah. But no, it was a cool show. Yeah, I really enjoyed working on it, and Dahlia was just a total trip of a character to do, and that being my first sort of named character out of the gate, I felt very fortunate.
Oh, definitely. Like, all the characters were in their own way. It's a very great show because for you as actors, you find something to relate to in these characters. What's also unique is it was about music, and I guess you can say the progression of modern music, where it's going as a whole, how it's being treated in the business, this industry that always is changing. You see these characters, how they're influenced by that change. Like Dahlia trying to keep up with what's new, what's fresh. How is music going to treat Dahlia's daughter? Like, it's those type of things that make the story very unique and very heart driven. So I'm glad that it came out just the way it tried balancing everything. Music was the centerpiece, and all these characters were trying to find a piece in that music, in music itself, whether it be something, whether it be fame, popularity, or just the love for music in itself, without the glamour, without the attention. So it was a great chemistry of how how these characters trying to go about. Even the people behind the scenes, I believe Shinichiro Watanabe had a hand in this. So from him, his experience in music was definitely his DNA was in this. Just by how much he loves music, how much he has seen the change from when he got into the music and anime industry. He's seen the evolution in the 20 years that have gone by, and just a way to kind of like illustrate that change in this anime. So beautiful masterpiece of an anime, and I hope more people check it out. It's still Netflix, and hopefully one day it'll be on home release.
And what's nice too is it's that season. I mean, you get in and you get the story. It's not like it ended and you're like, is there going to be more? What happened? It's like, you got it. It's a compartmentalized. It's good. It's So I think that's so many times I've gotten into something and then like it doesn't, like it either gets canceled or doesn't end. There's no end, or they're waiting to do another season that never happens. So at least with this, it's it's all there for you. And I think I also played, if you remember the Fire Brothers, those two old guys that rocked out in the contest. I think I played the older one. I don't even think they really talk. I think he just grunted or did something funny. But
Yeah, I got to revisit that one because even when the characters had their own moments to kind of like shine with their music talents, you had to appreciate the art behind it. Like everyone that did singing or they just play the music, like you just sit back and just enjoyed it as an audience member because it made you feel like you were watching a real concert or a real live performance.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, music was probably the main character.
Oh, it sure was. And like I said, all the changes just being pulled like from different directions in a ways like, well, like we just don't, we as an audience, we don't always see it like where is music being taken. Like sometimes you think like, okay, it's going the right direction, or some that may be hardcore aficionados of music. You're like, no, music is being taken, being dragged across the mud. It's not going in a good direction, it's being in the total opposite. So it's also showed where you can kind of debate like, is this the future of music? Is this where we want music to be? It raises those type of questions.
Yeah. No, I hear you. You're gonna probably hear my door knocking, and I think one of the kids is back there. Hey, here's a good interview. Hold on while I walk to the door. Hold on.
So yeah, that was my take on Carole and Tuesday. Just like you said, music was the character, as well as these other characters, what they saw, how they viewed music, whether for good or bad or somewhere in the middle. All these characters gave you kind of their own perspective on where music was going from here on out.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, and again, so Netflix, people can definitely check it out and feel for it. May have to watch a few more times just to understand all the characters, what they're going through, because it is both a career for them or just a passion project for these characters, how they're juggling music.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Yeah, it definitely. I watch it a couple times. Yeah, because there's a lot of nuance and complexity and how the characters interact, and yeah, and watch that one scene for me since I can't watch it.
Will do. All right, so now we can finally talk about Demon Slayer.
I've heard of that show.
Yeah, why don't you take us through for all this iteration, its film form and its video game form, just everything about Demon Slayer, just bundled up in a nice bow.
Yeah, I mean, the trick with the Rokodaki is he's good in small doses. So, you see him at the beginning of the series in the first like 6 or 7 episodes, and then he's gone. He's trained Tanjiro and sent him off. And then he's got like a little bit like, at the end where you hear his letter, and then that's it. For now, I mean, I want to say he comes back at some point in the manga, but but the video game gave him life again, so I think it's funny. Yeah, so in the video game, I think when I recorded, that was like they were like, yeah, we're gonna do a Rokodaki for the video game. I'm like, oh sweet, yay, I get to visit him again. And then all of a sudden it was like, or I'm reading the Rokodaki, I'm reading the menus, I'm like round 1 fight, I'm doing these. I was like, oh my gosh, he's like all over the place. He's like the first voice you hear when you start the game. And yeah, so that was really cool. I was like, it was just so fun to get to visit him again and in such a massive capacity.
Yeah, no, this anime has really taken the fandom by storm when it came out, just how much the appreciation it has gone to. And I guess because it's an action series, action is always easy to kind of latch onto because people like the fast-paced stuff, people like the cool fight scenes, like the swords, the whole samurai concept, and just everything about it. And it has created some great funny memes online. I'll say that because I've seen so much love go into it, so
Oh
much
yeah.
appreciation, and again, just going back to the whole casting. We got to hear you be part of it, and some other actors that have gotten a chance. Like another one that really surprised me was Landon McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing talent. Got to
Yep.
show his acting chops in a series because he was too new to the game of voiceover, and then for him to be pulling Demon Slayer, now he's gotten some lot of attention from that.
Yeah.
So
No,
just
Landon,
all around.
Landon is such a cool dude. So 2 thumbs up for Landon.
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping to catch an interview sometime soon. I know it's been overdue of us trying that. So
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, so much to talk about of Demon Slayer. Happy he got Toonami. Was able to get his films in theaters, get a video game adaptation. It's just there's so much Demon Slayer just going all around the place. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So and again, we'll see where the manga go, how far it'll go as an anime form over.
That's true. Yeah. More Orokodaki, please. Give him a spinoff. Give him a talk show. Yeah. Have him interview people.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Just hearing his voice, just
just
that'd be-
mask, just angry at everybody all the time. But then at the end, he gives them hot pot, and it's okay.
All right. So another show that we loved when it first came in the mid 2010s, and I can't believe it's been 7 years since the 2010s, 2015. One Punch Man season 2. Why don't you tell us what was like working on that incredible show?
So One Punch Man, I played Bomb, who is the older brother to Bang, and that was fun. That was cool because that was sort of up until that point, I hadn't really played any actiony sort of characters. So I was able to save my voice. Like Rokodaki was very like even keeled, Dahlia even keeled. Then I get Bomb, and Bomb was cool because he was like older and even keeled. But then all of a sudden they get into this giant fight scenes, and it's like really cool because you're screaming like different different like fight names and things like that, and that was cool. Yeah, what a fun franchise to be in.
Yeah, I remember when the first season dropped, all the great reviews it was getting, all the attention, all the love that came its way, and then when it had its finale, people were really clamoring for a season 2, which came around 2-3 years later that it was finally coming.
Took its sweet time.
I enjoyed just like the spin, the new take of bringing this superhero concept into anime form. And like I said, it's when the Japanese retake something, like I guess reverse engineer it would be a good way. The concept, what happens if you got like a Superman type of character and he's bored, like he has got no passion,
he's got no challenge. Yeah, he's just like, I gotta go do some work,
and it's over. And then you get all these characters that are over the top, very outlandish, cartoonish than anime. So it's just a great mixture of all these elements put together and give us this awesome show with great action, all this amazing animation, fight scenes. It brought it together nicely.
Yeah, no, it was great. Yeah. I mean, like I said, all I wanted was to be able to scream a move that I was doing, and I got to. So I was like, all right, we'll just check that off the bucket list.
Great show, and I'm not sure if they're going to do season 3 or do anything more with that, but I think we had our fun, our fill with that one. But we'll see what happens with One Punch Man. See if there's any more that we'll get from it. But who knows?
Fingers crossed.
All right, so here's another series you worked on, and I believe this is your very first Funimation or Funimation not even simul dub, but like I guess title that's full on Funimation, and we're going to talk about Ike Bukuro West Park Gate. While I was
Yeah,
working on that one.
it's a lot of title. IWGP.
Yes.
That was cool. Yeah, I got I'm always so horrible. Hold on, I'm gonna look at my cheat sheet because I'm so horrible with the characters I voice. What was it? Horimiya, I think is his name. He's a detective. He's like an old detective, and it's kind of cool because he's beating the streets, trying to solve crimes, talking to kids. That was another one that it was like, yeah, I'm playing this Horimiya. Oh, hold on. Let's see what I see down here. Yeah, so he's just like this cool old detective. Like he works this neighborhood, he knows. He's like that beat cop where he knows everybody, and it's like he's able to talk to these kids and get information. And yeah, so he was fun. I like playing that sort of like over the hill detective that's he's still doing the job and he's seen it all, and yeah, that was fun. But when I once again I thought, oh cool, he's like in an episode or two, and he ended up like being in like a pretty big arc, and he just kind of like shows up. What do you know? Where are you going? you know this guy, and that's always fun. And he seems to have a lot of scenes in alleyways. I'm not sure why he hangs out in alleys, but I guess that's where all the action is.
Because I've seen like these detectives, older veterans, they almost kind of give me that Commissioner Gordon type of vibes, just by their codes. They're older, and they always talk to these people outside the law enforcement field. They go to them either because there's a crime they're trying to solve, but it's either too outside their field, outside the jurisdiction. So they do kind of either in a way ask for help in a very subtle way, try to like inform, it's like, hey, this is what's happening. I can't, there's not much I can do, but if you happen to, come across this, I trust that you have the capabilities to figure that out, and then curve it to us so we can take care of the so
yeah, he's like working his informants. And it was Yoshioka, not Horimiya. Yoshioka was his name. You know what it is too? It's funny. It's COVID brain, because when you work at home, almost every job feels the same in a weird way. I mean, you're doing different characters, but then when you look back on like an entire year, it's almost like it feels like it all compresses into just one giant amalgamation of work. So yeah, it's like I get like it's because I'm old and I don't know things. So yes, Detective Yoshioka.
Nah, I really love this show, especially just how beautiful Ikebukuro is when you see it. You see all the characters, how they pass by different areas, buildings, even like they're passing like the train area, like everything about it is beautiful. I myself got to see Ikebukuro live when I went to Japan a few years back.
Oh, cool.
So definitely a cool spot, like for any anime fans out there, and the ones that have seen shows that take place in Ikebukuro. I recommend going there. You might in one of those animes. You might feel like being IWGP when you walk around the streets, seeing the people, and definitely that famous train station. It's exactly like that.
Oh, nice.
Written.
Well, look for Yoshioka. Go answer his questions. He needs help solving the case.
It was always trying to be solved.
I know.
So yeah, great show, fun to watch, very unique in its own storytelling. It's the way it has its characters, how they're interact with each other. I just love everything about this show. Like, it really feels like a young guy show. And any guys out there from age 18 to, I would say 30, 35, it's something you can really relate to as a male in that age group.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good gritty crimey show. I like it.
And it's not too crime driven. It's not as dark as I thought it would be, but
no,
in a good where those that are still younger in that age group can still enjoy it and still experience like more of a real life type of crimes. Nothing too Batman-ish, nothing too comic book-ish, but something that could really happen in real life to anyone. Like that's how relatable these stories can be. Just seeing how people go through these circumstances.
Yeah. IWGP. It's funny. I always call it by its letters now because I'm like, it's just too long of a title.
I was like calling it because if you see my Twitter or those that follow me on Twitter, I post out wrestling stuff. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Most other belts are initialed IWGP, whether the IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt or IWGP US belt. So you see a lot of those.
It's too confusing. Is he talking about a show about wrestling belts?
I thought it was one point. I really thought like, oh, it's about wrestling because I saw it. Like, oh, it's about something else, like crimes, bit of gangs. But okay, I can still dig that.
Right.
No wrestling, but that's if I can get hooked onto.
Nice.
All right. So moving from your MA work, now we can talk about your real game work. So why don't you tell us what was it like working on Secret of Mana?
Oh wow! So Secret of Mana was that was a cool game. I played a character named Sergo, and Sergo's a pirate, and he's very just standard pirate character. That was a quick. I mean, he was just sort of an odd character. I was actually at a VO class, and when and the director was actually teaching the class. And I was joking around with his voice, and she goes, I'm looking for something, right? Go in there and do this. And I did, and I ended up getting the part from this class. And so, which is like, how rare is that? And but yeah, so Sergo, it was quick though. I mean, Secret of Mana was like, it was literally just a 1-day record. I just went in, did it, but it was so cool because to be in like, the franchise. And games that I had played, that whole series, on and off for years. That was fun just to be like a cool little small piece. And I got to do a pirate voice. And I mean, that's a win-win. Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for it. It looked visually beautiful. And it was one of those games where it felt classic just by its play, but at the same time, it still had like that modern feel to it. They knew you were playing it. And of course, it was another example of casting where for you it was kind of us introducing the game, introduced us to you and some other actors that were still kind of new to the business, and it was great to see some actors that this was either their first known role or they've done a couple of things, but this one was more of a bigger title just because of the publishing company behind Secret of Mana, which is always plus when a big company can produce these type of at this caliber. It also helps actors where they can put down the resume and something to at least build out from, where it can get them into more work, more voice work, more video games, and eventually to animes and other animation projects. So that's another reason why I appreciate Secret of Mana. Always a good way to help actors expand the realm, their time in the industry, so they can still continue to build upon their own resumes.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, and it was a cool game, and I loved. I mean, like I said, it was my time on it was short, but I loved every minute of it. So
yeah, again, You got that checked off your list. You'd be probably more stuff, especially if a public this. I'm tripping with the word. If the same publishing company can make more games in the future, they're like, hey, the fact that we have a Secret Mana, when we bring it back for this other title we're on. So there's always that possibility for actors to be
get your foot in the door and then barge through and get all rowdy.
That too.
Yeah.
And then for another game that really has taken the video game industry by storm and has really helped a lot of actors just, again, get more attention, expand their resumes. We're going to talk about Genshin Impact. What was like working on that one?
I've heard of Genshin. Genshin's been great. My two main characters that I play are Dvalin, the big blue dragon, which is basically anytime you start the game, you see him on there. And then Timaeus, the alchemy vendor in Mondstadt, who, everyone interacts with and sees, and he comes back every once in a while. But yeah, I love Genshin, and Chris, the director, is always amazing to work with. But yeah, it's funny. Like when we were recording initially, the stuff before it came out, it looked like you watch it and you're like, wow, this game is something special. It just looks cool, but I don't know in a million years I would have expected what it's become. It's just a juggernaut and absolutely incredible. And a game I enjoy playing. So am I good at it? Not very much, but I do like to play.
Yeah, Genshin just came out of nowhere, accumulated so much love and a huge fan following in just a short amount of time. And it was another example of a game that can really change an actor's career, especially if fans love the performance. Especially, figures like Karina Boucher. I don't know if I ever said their name right, but Karina
Betger, yeah, as Paimon, yeah,
yes, the mascot
or emergency food, as others may know her as. The many faces of Paimon.
Just changing, like, I guess, their perception on their roles in the industry. And then for other actors that, again, either still building their names, the name recognition for future work, for future clients to kind of book them for whatever game or project might be coming in the works. A great way to attach Genshin Impact into your resume. So,
for sure.
And definitely a great game that people have enjoyed. Just something really basic that isn't easy with its gameplay, mechanics, nothing too outlandish with its storytelling or its, I guess, its artwork, its visual, because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game, done well. So you're definitely playing a great game that a lot of work, a lot of quality to it. So
yeah, and they're always, the content for it is just coming out all the time too. So it's like, it's a great story, and then you catch up, and then there's stuff to do, and then the next update hits, and you got more story to. It's really, it's quite something, that it hasn't missed a beat. It just keeps, it just keeps going.
Yeah, it's been really a year and a half or so. It's been chugging along strongly. I lost so much time. It's still going on. If it goes through 2022 with more content, more add-ons, then that's impressive. That's something that I've almost unheard of.
Oh, I know, totally.
So yeah, and then for people watching this interview, if they haven't checked out Genshin, definitely check it out. Or if you have,
it's free to play. So the price to get in is $0.
Right on. Yeah, that's definitely a way to explore something new, something different, and hear tons of great, talented voice actors in it. Because you'd be surprised like how different it is and how or who's playing these characters. Because yeah, again, tons of names that are in it, great actors, and some of them are playing it on their Twitch channels. So yeah, just
I should
endless.
do that. I should do that at some point, but we'll see. One day.
All right. Now it's time for the funny question I like to ask everyone.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm sitting down, so that's good.
If you can be any character you have played in real life, will you be, and you can, mix and match?
Oh my gosh. If I could physically be any character I've played.
Yeah, and then just mix it up if you want to take some certain attributes or certain skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. So, I would so Polpo from JoJo's. I would be Polpo's ability to turn into a bed because I think that would be a very handy skill when you're tired. I would take oh my gosh. I would take Bomb's fighting prowess. So when you can fight and then tired, then I would turn into a bed. And I would, oh geez, boy. I mean, really, there's I do like the fact that Orokodaki always wears a mask, so I would like the anonymity, or to be anonymous with that. Also, I do like the fact that Orokodaki is there's this I want to say tenderness because he's kind of slappy, but I mean there's a hidden warmth there, while he's got this sort of crusty exterior, deep down inside he actually has a good heart, and I think that I think I attach to that immensely. So turn into a bed, good heart, fighting skills, and then the character I just announced, Edward Weevil from One Piece, his overalls. I don't know if you've seen them, but his overalls are amazing. So that would be my ensemble. I would wear the overalls and all of that. There he is. That would be my goofy amalgamation character.
It's something like you really went into details for that one there.
Yeah, no, it would scare people probably immediately if they saw me walking down the street.
I think you, especially the mask with the overalls. Like I'm trying to picture that now.
Yeah. I just picture the overalls and the mask, how they would work into the bed.
No, that's creative. That's some thought process.
I didn't think I was ready. It just came to me.
For sure. So, is there anything coming out that you can talk about, or anything out that you want to plug in at this time?
Oh boy. I mean, anyone who's been following me, this last year was my big transition year of going. I mean, I'm obviously I'm still acting, but I went freelance voice directing. So, I'm directing the Star Trek Prodigy on Nickelodeon. And then I actually directed my first anime over the summer. I did the first 12 episodes of Eden Zero, and that was an absolute blast. I got to, I went into studios working with the engineer. I got to work with amazing talent. It was kind of like every day was going in and like hanging out with friends and dubbing an anime at the same time. So that was like really cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything coming out that I can announce because, the stacks of NDAs are tall and mighty. But yeah, I mean, still a lot of directing stuff coming down the pipe. So, just keep your ears and eyes open for things and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you're trying your hand in directing little different than you doing acting behind the booths and being directed by someone else. So
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see what else you will be doing behind the helm. So
yeah.
I'm happy for you that you're trying directing. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do next as time goes on.
Oh yeah, big stuff's coming. And I don't just say that for hyperbole. I feel like it's big stuff. And Star Trek keeps chugging along. So if you haven't seen Star Trek on Paramount Plus, watch it. It's good, and I'm biased because I work on it, but it's actually really good. So,
right. So now we come to our last question, and wrap things up. I want you to ask, do you have any Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or any other social media for fans to contact you at?
Yeah, I am on Twitter. Is probably what I use the most. So I'm on Twitter. It's at Brook Chalmers VO. You'll know it's me if you see the picture of me dressed like an old British sea captain, listed as Super Nintendo Chalmers. That's like where I am on mostly. I'm gonna, as I'm typing it on here, this shows you how horrible I am at social media. I am on Instagram. I don't post on here as much as I would like. It's just Brook Chalmers, all one word, and you'll see a drawing of me with a kilt and bagpipes. That's how you'll know it's me. Yeah, and I have my website, brookchalmersvo.com, which I need to update soon because it's, it needs an updating, and now I have some time, so I'll probably update that. And also, you can reach out to me through the website. There's an email tab on there too. So if you ever want to ask me a question, and yeah, and you can ask me questions on Twitter. I'm usually pretty easy to approach, and I try to be quick to respond to things. So yeah, that's it. That's me in a nutshell as far as social media. I do have a Twitch. It's Super Nintendo Chalmers 1975. I was doing a bunch of stuff last summer, and then my schedule got nuts. But I'm hoping to actually get back to streaming some stuff. Probably Genshin. Probably go back to my Mass Effect streams. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to just see me sit here and play a video game, jump on.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. This fun interview. It was great to hear your thoughts on these multiple titles. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what's next, what other will come out, both in voiceover and in your directing works. So definitely, and fans that follow you, will keep an eye on your social media to see what is announced next.
Nice, and I'll try to announce things on time. Sometimes I miss it. I'm like, that came out? Oh, geez.
So yeah, thank you, Brook. Much appreciated for you.
Thank you.
This interview from the Ohio guys, and thank you to our viewers here who've been following the Ohio guys channel. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the support, and we will be see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Bye.